How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the LAIR. And today I have something a little bit more competitive for you, also a historic best of one deck. I call this one Nightmare Obliterator. So let's get into it. On to the 1-drops. I have 4 copies of Knight of the Ebon Legion. For 1 swamp, he's a 1/2, and then we can pay 2 colorless and a swamp, and he gets +3/+3 in Death Touch until the end of turn. And at the beginning of our end step, if a player lost 4 or more life, we can put a +1/+1 counter on him. 1 Tymaret, chosen from death for 2 swamp. He's a 2/0. Tymaret's toughness is equal to your devotion to black, and then we can pay 1 in a swamp and exile up to 2 target cards from graveyards. You gain 1 life for each creature card exiled this way. 4 copies of Yarok's Fenlurker for 2 swamp. He's a 1/1. When Yarok's Fenlurker enters the battlefield, opponent exiles a card from their hand, and then we can pay 2 in a swamp, and Yarok's Fenlurker gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. On to the 3-drops. I have 4 copies of Murderous Rider for 1 colorless and 2 swamp. He's a 2/3 lifelink. When Murderous Rider dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. We can also cast the instant side of this card, which is Swift End, is for 1 colorless and 2 swamp. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, and you lose 2 life. 4 copies of Ayara, First of Locthwain, for 3 swamp. She's a 2/3, and whenever she or another black creature enters the battlefield, the opponent loses 1 life, and we gain 1 life, and then we can tap her and sacrifice another black creature and draw a card. 4 copies of Dread Presence for 3 colorless and a swamp. He's a 3/3, and his static ability says, whenever a swamp enters the battlefield under your control, you choose 1. Draw a card and lose 1 life, or Dread Presence deals 2 damage to any target, and you gain 2 life. 4 copies of Nightmare Shepherd for 2 colorless and 2 swamp. He's a 4/4 flying. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, you create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a 1/1 and it's a nightmare in addition to its other types. And then our new toy from Historic Anthology 3 is Phyrexian Obliterator for 4 swamp. He's a 5/5 trample, and whenever a source deals damage to Phyrexian Obliterator, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. On to the 5-drops. I have 4 copies of Grey Merchant of Asphodel for 3 colorless and 2 swamp. He's a 2/4. When Grey Merchant comes into the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, and we gain X life, where X is our devotion to black. 1 copy of Cavalier of Night for 2 colorless and 3 swamp. He's a 4/5 lifelink. When Cavalier of Night enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, destroy target creature an opponent controls. And when Cavalier of Night dies, return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And then finally, at the top end, for 6, we have Bolas' Citadel, 2 copies for 3 colorless and 3 swamp. Legendary artifact. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its converted mana cost rather than pay its mana cost. And then we can tap it and sacrifice 10 non-land permanents, and each opponent loses 10 life. So this is a mono black devotion deck centered around Grey Merchant. With our new toy, Phyrexian Obliterator, really helps put in the damage and gain us life. For our early, we have our Knight of the Ebon Legion for early aggression, Yarok's hand hate. Tymaret is a little bit of graveyard control. Murderous Rider for our annoying creatures and planeswalkers we can't get rid of. Ayara helps us ping damage, also gain life and stabilize, and we can sacrifice creatures and draw cards off her. And if we have a Nightmare Shepherd on the board, all of these creatures, they have another purpose. So we don't mind getting them back as a 1/1. For instance, the Knight of the Ebon Legion will still have all of his abilities, so we can pump him, and at the end of the round, if someone lost 4 or more life, he still gets the 1/1 counter. Yarok's Fenlurker, they still have to exile a card, and we can also pump him. Tymaret, he'd be a 1 whatever, but we can bring him back. Murderous Rider, the same. Dread Presence is another defense/card draw engine. Nightmare Shepherd's a 4/4 flying for 4, which is great, and then on top of his other ability helps us recur our threats, as I said earlier. Phyrexian Obliterator, they just don't want to touch this card, especially if they're mono red. Hopefully we run into a lot of that today. Just completely destroy their entire game. Grey Merchant is what we use to combo, usually kill our opponent and stabilize our life. 1 off of Cavalier to help recur some of our smaller threats. If if we don't have a Knight Shepherd. Also a little bit of control there himself. Also helps with our devotion. And then Bolas' Citadel is basically our way to run out our deck. Yeah, so that's pretty much the deck. Let's get into the mana base. I'm running 2 Cabal Strongholds. We can tap it for colorless and then pay 3 and tap it and add a swamp for each basic swamp you control. 2 Castle Locthwain. Comes into the battlefield tapped unless we control a swamp. We can tap it for a swamp, or we can pay 3, tap it and draw a card, and then you lose life equal to the number of cards in your hand. And then I'm running 20 basic swamps. We have the Elspeth's Nightmare sleeve featuring the Phyrexian Obliterator, which I think was really cool Easter egg for things to come. But yeah, so let's hop into some games. Let's see how we do. As always, if you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. It's free to you and helps us out so much. Also, if you have any friends or family members that love Magic, please share the channel with them. And lastly, feel free to leave me a comment on strategy, misplays, deck ideas. I read the comments daily. And thank you guys for watching. Tomorrow I'm going to play another jank deck. Sorry, I just can't help myself. I know they're not competitive, but they're just so fun to try and get off. Alright, Shupika. The Watley avatar. Alright, so we got a nice 3-lander here. We got a Knight into a Fenlurker, into a Nightmare and an Obliterator. We'll definitely keep this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the Knight of the Ebon Legion here. Mono green, cool. Go ahead and play the Yarok's Fenlurker here. Keep the train rolling. I see a Savage Stomp. Dinosaurs. Okay. Here I'm actually going to attack first. We don't have a play, so I will go ahead and pump. Yadaro, okay. Raging Raptor, cool. I'm gonna drop this Phyrexian Obliterator. Jack him up. Now I'm pretty sure the Phyrexian Obliterator, if he gets hit by, like, let's say a 12-12, they have to sacrifice that many permanents. It's fine. Still coming in for 5. Okay, I think I play Nightmare Shepherd here, and we just go in with the Obliterator. Yeah, I think you want to block that. I think next turn we Dread Presence. Yeah. Going in for lethal next turn. So let's do this, this. Going for lethal. So let's see if he has to sacrifice any permanents. As you can see, it's not worth it to block the Phyrexian Obliterator. Definitely not. We did have a nice draw there, though. The opponent seemed to be holding quite a bit of expensive stuff in his hand. But yeah, that went very well. Very happy with that. Last couple of days I've been playing a lot of jank, getting my ass kicked. So much fun though, just trying to come up with these goofy ideas. Let's hop into another one. Alright. Covalence. Covalence. Alright, we got another 3-lander, we got another knight, 3, 4, looks good to me. Bolas' Citadel. Keep this. Ooh, hello mono black. Priest, okay. Interesting choice. My swamp. I don't need it. I don't want it. It's going to be tough to build a board here against this. Alright, well, that's a good game. I'm not gonna sit here and play that one out. Alright, so surprise lures. This is the first rendition of this deck. I'm thinking about maybe shaving like one of my 3 and 4 drops each and putting in 4 gutter bones for a little bit more aggression. Especially considering we're playing best of 1. Lobogrisk 78, the Liliana. Alright, got another 3-lander here. 1, 3, 4, 4. Looks great. Keep it. Got a Yarok Fenlurker. Perfect. Ooh, could this be Orzhov Vampires? If my opponent doesn't kill my knight, I will leave open the 3, unless he plays Radiant Destiny. This one. Okay. Just going with the knight here. Okay. Trying to get some kill spells out of my opponent's hand because I don't want him to just instant kill the Phyrexian Obliterator. Then he doesn't deal damage. Okay, Lenda of the Dusk Rose. Yeah, I'm just going to do this to try and get a card out of his hand. And he doesn't block. Okay. I'm going to hold off the Murderous Rider until we see what our opponent plays. Pretty risky. I'm going to play the Phyrexian Obliterator here to just kind of take off some heat. Hopefully he plays like Ivana or do that. So here I'll play Dread Presence, and I will have do 2 damage to this guy, and no attacks. Leave up the Murderous. Another combo that you can have is if you have a Dread Presence and a Phyrexian Obliterator. You can do the damage, or I'm sorry, no. That would make us sacrifice permanents, right? That source of controller sacrifice. That make it? All right, never mind. Disregard that. Got excited there. So I'm going to play Ayara, little drain action. We will Murderous Rider on the Legion Lieutenant. Take that shit down. Okay. And still no attacks. Call for the Feast, okay. Cool. Damage to any target here, and here, and going to sacrifice. Dread Presence is nice. Yeah. So is this more of like a control style deck? I think it is. So he's running basically Champion of Dusk and Elenda, pumping the Elenda, and then destroying it and then refilling. That's pretty slick. Never seen that version before. Another Elenda, okay. Okay. We'll do it like this. Now let's see if he has to sacrifice 4 or just 1. Hopefully that wasn't declared. I think I just hold up the blocks here and see if he wants to cut. Oh, he just draws another one right off the top. Nice. Cool. So we'll make sure we do that before there's a Bolas' Citadel. That's nice. Another Phyrexian Obliterator. It's nice. Okay. We will pass. Alright, let's drop the Bolas. Let's play the land. To target. So get the double ping off that. Resolve. Hit him with the Fenlurker. Okay. Play another Dread Presence. Okay. Ended up killing ourselves there. Bolas was our only our only hope there. Just trying to find a gray merchant. It's an interesting deck. More of like a token generation than actual creature based. Alright, excellent. Got ourselves a Ikoria pack. Let's open it up, see what we get. Rare Wild is always welcome. Mythos of Brokos. Decent. Alright, let's hop into another one. OG Aristotle. Wow. Good Johnnies. So we got a nice 3-lander here. We've got our Fenlurker, Nightmare Shepherd, Grey Merchant. Let's keep it. It's the Sarah's Angel Sleeve. And this is historic too. This could get nasty. Well, go ahead and play this. Cool. Wings. Okay. So this is a token with Let's play Nightmare Shepherd first. Then I'll play Phyrexian Obliterator. Resplendent. Ugh. That's an angel. That is an angel. Start going on this Phyrexian Obliterator though. Right? Chromatic Lantern. I think we Murderous Rider here. Cool. And then cool. I'm just gonna go in with the Obliterator here. Careful. Take out almost all of his stuff. I will definitely trade. Let's take out the angel first. I don't think he quite realizes how that card works. Resolve. just start hitting him with the Grey Merchant. Do double. Yep. Sacrifice 5 permanents. Why'd you quit? Oh man. Phyrexian Obliterator. Yeah, because if you have a Nightmare Shepherd on the board and you have a Ayara, you could play your Grey Merchant, get the ping damage, and then sacrifice it, and then it comes back as a 1/1, but you still get the ping damage again. Let's hop into another one. Nerve Junction, the Angrath. Alright, I got a nice 3-lander here. We got a Grey Merchant, we got a Phyrexian, we got an Ayara. Seems kind of slow, but let's keep it. Just having fun. Duress. One of my only 2 copies. Be some type of discard. Cool. But good. I wonder if he's running like burn damage or if he's running like just more instant spell speeds. Yeah. Opponent's about to run out of juice here. I love it. Just keep wasting it. Just keep wasting it. To get the Grey Merchant out there. Oh. Mastermind's Acquisition. I missed that card. So what is this? Like some type of a weird deck? Rakdos Control? Oh, he's gonna be hate life. So Fenlurker, get wrecked. Hopefully it wasn't something good.
How disappointing.
Oh yeah, it sucks. Cool. Hope it was worth it. Now we can Locthwain and not take any penalty. We can also pump up our Yarok. Okay, cool. presence out there. Fuck this guy. He's got 3 and 4. So we need 4. Now we have the Dread presence online. Start doing some ping damage to the face. Dread Horde Butcher, I'll trade all day. Yeah. I'm gonna get rid of this right away. I don't care if he kills my Yarok. I'll just pump it to save it anyways. Thanks. Thanks for playing. I'm gonna draw an extra card. I don't care about this thing. Cool. Kindling Phoenix ain't gonna do it. So here's what we'll do. We'll kill it. It's gonna come back as a 0/1. I'm gonna say we'll just threaten lethal and then he has to chump block anyways. Alright, excellent. Excellent. Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna be playing some more jank. Gonna be doing the another 5-color deck. It's really wacky. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Lobo Grist 78 again. Nice. This hand seems a little slow. This looks a little bit better. I think I'm more interested in... Fuck. I think I'm more interested in the Nightmare Shepherd, so we will bottom the Dread presence, and we will start off with the Knight. Start off with another Knight. This is the Vampire guy, okay. I got something for you, Vampire guy. Very nice run right here. Very nice run. Radiant Destiny, yeah. Empire, cool. So let's get the Phyrexian Obliterator out there. 4. Trask is content, very nice. Play the Nightmare Shepherd. Again. Rascals. Still going in for 8 damage, man. Please attack. Okay, smart man. Correct. Oh shit, that's right, this guy's running board wipes. Fuck. Maybe I shouldn't have overcommitted. Okay, no, he doesn't have it. Alright. I think he's dead, man. Yeah. Let's just go in with everything. You have to block these two. Yep. And block him. Cool. Not enough. Good game. Alright, well, I'm glad we got to rematch that guy and get some sweet revenge. The deck is very competitive. I think I made a couple misplays on that earlier game. But yeah, definitely a very cool deck, very fun deck to run in Historic right now. I'm up in the Platinum rank 1, so I'm very cautious of the decks. Some gems is always nice. I'm always cautious of the decks I play in ranked queue. I want them to be extremely competitive, especially in this meta. But anyways, yeah, so we got some orbs here. Let's do a Sea Dasher, and let's do Full Scare. Excellent. Alright guys, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow will be another ridiculous jank deck. I'm sure you guys will find very amusing. With that being said, if you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe to the channel. It's free to you and helps us out so much. Also, feel free to tell a friend or a family member if they like Magic as well. Share the channel with them. Feel free to drop me a comment on misplays, deck ideas, strategies. I read the comments daily. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.